Hello, welcome to the weather update. It's around 10 o'clock on August 7th, 2022. And once again, the thunderstorms got a little closer today. You can see here on the satellite, there was one that popped up over the city and kind of went over the North Shore before breaking up. There you go. And then the second batch over Connecticut there. So similar skies today, a lot of cirrus blow off. A little more in the way of clouds today than yesterday. Let's go to the Ventus sky so we can actually rewind the radar and show you what happened. So right around, I would say 2 o'clock, this stuff started popping up very quickly, and it didn't look that impressive. Here it is 2:30, and you get to 3 o'clock. That's when the storms really start blowing up over the city there, Manhattan, northern part of Queens. And of course, the nice that night. We're going to take a look at a minute of a shelf cloud that developed just to our north, and there you see it hitting Glen Cove and then kind of weakening. And then later on in the day, you can see this batch that's up in Connecticut here. That started developing 5:50, 6 o'clock. Some really nice thunderheads up there. You can see there was a line right there, 7:20, that kind of went through parts of Connecticut there. This is 8 o'clock. So, yeah, it more or less avoided Long Island. All we had was a little bit of light rain and some sprinkles, and really not really much in the way of rain. We're going to look at that in a moment as well. Currently on the radar, there's nothing. Not much to speak of. Maybe one lone shower there in western New Jersey. That's about it. Right now. So we'll show you what the sky looked like today. And to start off, yeah, we had this amazing shelf cloud here. Unfortunately, no, let's go back. Unfortunately, I could not get a good view. This is the best view I could get. Literally popped up really almost out of nowhere, this thing. So it's the best view I could get because, again, here in Mineola, unless you don't go to the top of a parking garage, you're not going to really see much here in the urban jungle. So there you go. That's kind of the best I could do with that shelf cloud. But that quickly dissipated. It looked ominous, and then it kind of just completely fell apart. This is the shelf cloud kind of coming in on top of us here. So that's what it looked like. So not, you could tell it was falling apart as it kind of moved over. So it quickly pulsed over the city, and then it kind of just weakened. And then we were just left with rain from the anvil. We actually had a little light rain from the anvil, so sort of like what we had overhead. A little light rain there from the anvil. You could see the dark anvil clouds. And we had that light rain coming from what was left of it. It was kind of weird. And you can see here that, let me go over here. You could see, again, a little bit of that virga that was coming down. That was all the anvil that was left, so we were just getting light rain from it. And that was pretty much it. Then later on, we got to see some more beautiful cloud formations with the thunderstorms over Connecticut. Here's another look at that here later on in the day here from the South Shore, where it's easier to get a good view of things. And you can see here, I was at Babylon and Argyle Lake again and looking at this massive thunderhead off to the north there. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful cloud right there off to the north. And we have a few more, and it just made for an incredible sunset. As the sun went down, it just got more and more brilliant, and then wow, that was the sunset right there. Absolutely amazing anvil cirrus with the sun setting at Argyle Lake in Babylon. I have a video of both those storms. Obviously, the Argyle Lake one will be a lot better. That'll be coming up later tonight. So let's go take a look at what we got going on outside right now. You can see again heat advisories, heating, in the Pacific Northwest. We still have the heat advisory in our area. Let's go take a look and see what we got outside right now. And temperatures are around 80 degrees. Looks like 81 at Islip with a dew point of 72, so warm and humid. Let's take a look and see what the day was like. And again, it was breezy, so it didn't feel that bad. It looks like we made it to the upper 80s again for much of the day, with some clear skies for a little bit in the afternoon. You can see the dew points are pretty high, and then more and more clouds later on in the day. But mostly sunny skies reported there at Islip for a good part of the day. Though it seemed like there were a lot more clouds than yesterday. Maybe there were just more high clouds around versus yesterday. You could see very humid conditions. Again, dew points in the mid-70s in that tropical air that we're dealing with here. And if we go and we look at how it was in New Jersey, let's take a look and see what it was like in Berkeley Township there. This is a great observing sign. I'm sure it was a lot hotter there today. Oh, yeah, they were in the mid-90s again. Yep, mid-90s. A little less humid, though, I noticed. A little less humid. But much, much hotter in New Jersey, again, because they didn't get the sea breeze that we did. So let's go and take a look. I mean, we could go a little more toward the coast, I guess, and take a look at one of these other stations here, like this station here, but I'm sure they still got into the mid-90s. Let's see what they got. Yeah, they still got into the mid-90s, so even closer to the war. That south wind, south-southwest wind is over land for them. So let's go take a look at what the high temperatures were across the area today. And this probably will tell the story. Up Long Island's generally in the upper 80s to around 90, and then the city around 90 degrees, and then Jersey, yeah, just sweltering there in the mid-90s. No surprise. Almost some upper 90s there. 97 being reported near Toms River. So, yeah, much hotter there than here, of course. So let's go take a look at the, I guess we'll go to the models next. Take a look, see what we got setting up as we head into this week here. And actually, I do want to look at the storm risk, too, as well. So let me get this on the screen as well. Storm Prediction Center. And we'll look at that in a moment. We'll look at that in a moment here. I don't see really anything that's really, just at a glance, doesn't look like anything is going to really be going on with severe weather. But some of those storms were warned. So just because there isn't an advisory from the SPC doesn't mean you won't see a severe thunderstorm. All right. So we'll start off with the upper air pattern here, North American view, the jet stream. And we have some changes coming, which is good. You can see the jet stream mesh now, way up in Canada. But look what happens as we head toward the end of the week. There we go. There's our trough, finally. And it actually looks like it's developing something along the trough, like a center of low pressure, and taking it off the coast on the weekend. I have to look at that on the surface. That's highly unusual. But you can see this trough, it actually winds up being very deep. This jet stream is just a mess. But fortunately for us, you can see we're on the cool side of it. We're getting the trough, and there's this huge trough. And look at this jet stream. This is highly unusual jet stream. So yeah, really unusual. All right, but at least it's going to bring a cool down for us. So that's the good. Even just because it's not normal, means we get a cool down. But right now, we're still dealing with the ridge. Here's the ridge this week, but here comes that deep, deep trough as we head into the weekend. Look at that. So that is going to definitely cool things off quite a bit. So if we go to our temperature anomaly chart here, look at the temperature anomaly chart. You'll see above normal in the east. Here we are. Still dealing with the heat. Tuesday, still dealing with the heat. That's the last day we're dealing with it, because Wednesday things start dropping. And by Thursday, it looks like we're just slightly above normal. And then by Friday, look at all that. We really start cooling down. And here comes the cool air. You can see here, look at that. We're going to be below normal for the weekend, maybe much below normal for the weekend. All right. Now we can also look at our rainfall forecast as well, because we could use some rain across the country, and we're going to see if we wind up getting some. So this kind of indicates that there may be a coastal system that might wind up developing, or some sort of tropical system that might bring some heavier rain to New England and maybe Long Island. So with the trough, that'll bring more chances for rain, which we need so desperately. It is really just very ridiculously dry outside. So let's look at the surface map now, and we'll see what happens. So still in with the ridge for Monday, still in the humidity Tuesday. Then here comes the front, but it's going to take a couple of days to come through Thursday. And then here you go. Here comes that big high building down. But yeah, it looks like it developed some kind of tropical system and then hooks it over here. And originally we were supposed to have a nice weekend. Now it looks like it may not, but we'll have to see. Was this in the last run? This is the 18th. Let me see. Yeah, it was in the last run too. So it's in there in some form. We'll have to see what happens. It's very hard to say, but just because it's such a deep trough, the model is trying to develop something along there. Whether we'll actually see something or not is another story entirely. So anyway, that is what it's going to look like. And again, to that you can see we're kind of back into we're going to get into a bit of a wetter pattern as it looks like we have some more chances for rain finally to end this just ridiculous drought. So I think there is an end in sight to this drought coming. All right, so let's go take a look at the HRRR model for the short range. Here's the HRRR, and you'll see probably very scattered activity again tomorrow. Very scattered, maybe a scattered thunderstorm or two, and that's it. Tuesday, same deal, and most of it's to the northwest too, because the marine influence has a tendency to keep the storms at bay. So again, this is not very impressive at all when it comes to storm chances. We'll go to the HDR. I'm not going to go to the other models right now. We'll do that in a little bit. So let's go take a look at the dew points to show you what we're going to be dealing with in the short range. And you'll see the humidity sticks around. Southwest winds tomorrow again. Again, that's the ocean influence keeps Long Island cooler. Same deal on Tuesday as well. We're still dealing with the high humidity and the heat as well, because if you go into Monday, you'll see again Jersey's going to roast mid to upper 90s perhaps. Long Island around 90 degrees. Not dropping much below 75 at night. And then Tuesday looks like it's going to heat up a lot more. For some reason, it has Tuesday a lot hotter than Monday. And I still see a southwest wind here, but maybe it's trying to push more of a westerly component in on Tuesday, perhaps, to give us a little more heat. We'll have to see if that actually materializes or not. So now let me go to some of these other models, the NAM, and we will go to the NAM, and we'll have to use the 18Z run for this NAM, and we'll see what it has as far as thunderstorms go across our area. So this is tomorrow, and you'll see it does seem to develop a line in the evening. This is like around later at night, like 9, 10 o'clock. So it looks like it's trying to develop a line. We'll have to see if that actually materializes or not. For Tuesday, we also see a line that tries to develop. And this looks like this is actually the cold front here. So this could be when we could see some heavier thunderstorms in our area. And this, again, would be Tuesday evening. That looks pretty it looks pretty impressive on the NAM, all right? But the HRRR is not doing that, of course. There's also the FV3 high-resolution model. And I don't really have the zero. We don't have enough of the 0Z. We can go to the 12Z run and kind of roll this back here, and you'll see again not as aggressive as the NAM as far as forming those thunderstorms. There's more of a chance, though, definitely on Tuesday with that cold front getting closer, that we could actually see some severe thunderstorms in our area on Tuesday, and hopefully we will get some rain out of those, because we really do need the rain badly. HDRPS. All right, we're missing the 18Z run of the HDRPS. We can go to the 12Z run of it. And you can see HDRPS not showing a whole lot of activity, showing a little bit. But I think the better bet is going to be Tuesday, perhaps, for severe weather. And we'll have a better idea of that as we get closer to Tuesday. Let me go to the GFS now, GFS model, and we will now go and look at the dew points as we head past Tuesday. Let's see what the wind flow has. Yeah, you can see there's more of a westerly wind on Tuesday. GFS is showing it, so that's why Tuesday could wind up being hotter with the killer west wind. And then here's Wednesday with that front finally coming through and putting an end. These are dew points. They are ridiculously high, I know, but it's going to take a couple of days just to get this front through. Here's Thursday, Friday. It's finally coming through. Dew points drop. But then you've got to watch this low pressure system that might wind up developing again. This may be, but this looks like a pretty intense low pressure system here for Sunday here. I don't have to look at some of the other long range models and see if that's showing up, because that could be tropical in nature. I doubt it would be a nor'easter. If it would be anything, it could be tropical in nature. Let's go and look at the wind speeds with this. So it looks like this almost looks like a hurricane trying to form here in New England. So you have to keep an eye on that. That would be highly unusual. And I don't know if any of the other models are showing that. Let me go to the icon. The icon doesn't go that far. What about the European? The European ain't going that far out either. So yeah, nothing goes far enough out to take us there yet. So it's really hard to say. But anyway, let's go to the temperatures now. You'll see what's going to happen to our temperatures. So here we are. Tuesday could be pretty brutal, I have to say. I think Tuesday is going to be very brutal. And then you can see it starting to break up Wednesday. And then Thursday, we're kind of just stuck in clouds and chances of showers with the front, which is a good thing. We need the rain. And then Friday, you see temperatures drop. Look at that. Only in the upper 70s, low 80s. And then here we are Saturday, only in the 70s. And if that coastal forms, and if it stays cloudy, yeah, we could be quite cool. Maybe not even reaching 70 on Long Island. Meanwhile, if you're in the mountains, look at that, 50s. So that's some pretty chilly air right there that's going to be coming in with this system that, again, it's trying to develop this system. Whether that's actually going to happen or not is another story. So we'll go to the sky cover next. Here's your sky cover. Tomorrow, obviously, probably scattered cirrus. Same thing for Tuesday, scattered cirrus, and here comes the front. You can see here visualizing it here. Now, if you're in Michigan, you clear out nicely, but unfortunately, it's going to take a little while for us to get into that. It tries to get us into it on Thursday. I think we're more likely to get into it on Friday. But then the question is, if this low forms, then we're not going to clear it out on Saturday. If that low forms, I like I said, I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not. That's the model. I think just dealing with some stuff. That's all I could say. I'm going to look at some other models and see if they have that. But let's go to the RGM next. With the sky cover. Again, we're looking at sky cover. You can see similar skies today. Maybe scattered cirrus. Maybe some sunny, clear periods. And then the thunderstorms building. Tuesday, it has even more sun. But with that westerly flow, we could be dealing with worse air quality and haze. So that's what's made it bearable, is we haven't had to deal with the haze. Here's Wednesday, still showing some sun, but more and more clouds than not. If we wanted to go a little further, I guess I could go to the general Canadian model, which may take us a little further. So here we are. It actually tries to clear us out on Thursday. Friday, we definitely clear out. And then Saturday, yeah, it has the system pressed offshore. So, I mean, that's what should happen. And hopefully that's what happens. I don't want to see a huge tropical storm either, though. That would solve the rain problem for us. But I'd like some nice, sunny, clear weather that's comfortable so I can get back to the Pine Barrens, because it's been just way too long. The weather has sucked this summer. It's been awful. So, let's go to the Ventu. Back to the Ventu. Actually, I have Ventu Sky open now. And I want to look at some Cape forecasts as well, because the Cape, we're going to go into tomorrow. And let me go into tomorrow here, and we're going to look at the Cape outlook here. So this is 11 o'clock. Nothing too impressive. 12 o'clock. Still not that bad. 5 o'clock. Yeah, I'm not really seeing anything to impress me all that much on here. All right, let me move this over to the Tuesday here. Again, nothing. It does seem to have some Cape right on where the sea breeze front is, but there's not a whole lot of Cape. But you can't really go by this. I mean, you can't. You just can't. So speaking of rainfall, I guess that'll be the last thing we will talk about today. We will go to the Wonderground map and see who got rain today. Because, again, most of us did not, but some people around the city did wind up getting some rain today. It looks like, yep, some areas did wind up getting rain. 0.68 inch, so right around LaGuardia there, almost 3/4 of an inch of rain. Most of Manhattan got nothing. Most of Jersey got nothing. The northern part of Queens, maybe you got some scattered amounts. Here's 0.85 here around Bayside. Great Neck looks like they got some rain. And Glen Cove, a little bit of rain there. But as far as us goes, we had, I could count maybe, we had like a little shower, but 0.06 that's about it. I mean, barely anything. We had that little light rain from the anvil, but I mean, it was barely anything. So, yeah, that is definitely disappointing. I know I'm going to go to windy.com. I want to see if the Euro is showing this. Maybe we can look at the Euro, because this site seems to have the Euro out further. So let me see if they're showing this storm developing here. No, I don't see it here. Sad. No, it clears it out. So it's only the GFS that's doing that. So this is, again, the European model. Not showing a storm here for the weekend. We are looking at the wind speeds. But if we change it to the GFS, you will see there is the storm right there. And, yeah, that looks pretty intense there. It looks like a hurricane. GFS is trying to form a tropical system right off the east coast, which is really, these are sustained winds here, 34 miles an hour around it. And if we put the wind gusts in, it gets a little worse than that. So, yeah, this would have to be watched as a potential tropical system, perhaps, that would develop. Again, only the GFS is doing this. It's an outlier. We're way out in the game here, but still, it's really interesting to see this. It's totally kind of ridiculous if you think about it. It looks like it would just brush the New England area there. You don't think terrible, but again, when we look at the water temperatures, we know we're going to go to Earth and Old School.next. Yeah, always one thing. You know, it's like a fixed song. One thing leads to another. Let's go look at the water temperatures again, and you'll see what I mean. So if we go to the ocean temperatures here, sea surface temperature anomaly. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my God. Look at this. Look at these anomalies off the charts. So Yeah, that is 7 degrees above normal, that water right there. 7 degrees above normal there. You can see that on the screen there. 7 degrees above normal. 8 degrees above normal. So let's see what we've got as far as the actual sea surface temperatures in this area. So 78, so getting close to 80 degrees. That can support a tropical system. So we're going to have to watch this trough. That's why the GFS is doing that. That's why it's trying to develop something. So we're going to have to watch that possibility closely. Very interesting. We can also go and look at the actual. Those are derived from satellite, but we can actually look at the actual water temperatures here. We'll get our latest summary here, and we'll take a look at the summary here. So Fire Island, south of Fire Island, 20 miles south of Fire Island, 76. 74 east of 74. Texas Tower's got 79. So that's where we gotta watch out for. So we see those water temperatures like that. That's pretty ridiculously warm. And Bridgeport and New Haven also reporting in the Sound temperatures above 80 degrees in the Sound. So water temperatures are ridiculously warm. It's like Florida, like I said, highly abnormal. But as we deal with the climate crisis evolving, this is the kind of stuff we're gonna have to start dealing with more and more and more. So that's going to wrap up this weather update. Have a good night, and thank you for watching.